right, welcome to Voting Arena. Today it's been a while, we've not been here for a while, and talking about the positions that every individual has in the country. Elections are a little bit far away, but they are quite close. Electionary processes have started. Just last week we had some midterm election, state election, federal election into the House of Representatives, Senate, and the state houses of assembly. The winners, the losers, everybody's licking their wound, but politics goes on. So today I have with me on this platform the convener, Integrity Group, Renewed Hope Agenda Ambassador, Ambassador Dr. Oke Idawene.
Yeah.
I hope I called it very well.
Oke Idawene is the name.
Okay.
Thanks for having me, and good afternoon to the world.
All right. Then I have my good friend, colleague in the studio, Peter. Peter, you're welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
All right. Okay, tell us, the Renewed Hope Agenda Ambassadors, Integrity Group. Why will you call it Integrity Group?
Yes, the word Integrity Group came divinely for the purpose of supporting Bola Ahmed Tinubu as Suwaji himself. We saw that presently in the Nigerian polity, people tend to be more gullible with lies on the streets of Nigeria. What are the lies? The lies are that the president has taken us to hunger, has gotten us to impoverishment, and we are groping in the dark. They are using the yardstick of how much is a bag of rice some years ago, a bag of cement, how much petroleum was sold, and they seem not to realize that economic policies have patterns and principles and policies, and they have different patterns. You have the short term, you have the long term, and you have the middle term. Now, in this position, the president came on board to ensure that we don't have cosmetic measures in attending to the Nigerian system. So when we saw that the lies are all over, it dawned on me, the convener, that look, it is time to speak out. What do we call the group? The word integrity means what you do when no one is watching you, your real self. And our real self is telling Nigerians the truth that Bola Ahmed Tinubu means well for Nigeria. So to this end, we gathered like minds, and within a few months, we came up with structures in 36 states and FCT, because you don't need much to sell a good brand. Now the Nigerians have bought it, and the Integrity Group were the Renewed Hope Agenda Ambassadors, because indeed we have felt renewed. For the first time in Nigeria, they are doing presidential empowerment, and my village person from Olomo Isoko South, I've been able to give some 5 slots, 10 slots to participate in the Renewed Hope Initiative empowerment. Our first lady in Delta and first lady of Nigeria, they've come up giving us slots of women in terms of Delta State. I will give you them, the artisans, the farmers, the traders in Delta State, even Olomo, where I come from, are giving us slots. This is the first time. Ever since, it has always been audio. You don't see people that participate from empowerment. Remember some time ago we were at home during COVID-19, and they used billions of dollars on naira to feed school children and schools were locked out. Those are kind of lies we have lived in ever since. But this time, the President Tinubu that we have means well for Nigeria, and that is why Integrity Group has come up. Before now, we supported Governor Sheriff Oberori of Delta State for his good governance in Delta. When he moved to APC, the group metamorphosed internationally, and that's what you're seeing, that the root is from Delta, now at 36 states and FCT. And because we support good governance, any governor that is doing well in Nigeria, we're supporting them. For instance, the Benue governor, the Nasarawa governor, the Ebonyi governor, my Delta governor, my governor, we are supporting any like-minded governor supporting Tinubu and is doing well, we're supporting them. And the president said, governors water the ground, water the wards. We will support only governors that are watering their grounds. And these governors I just mentioned are watering their state powerfully, and I call all governors to do the same thing. And that is what Integrity Group stands for good governance.
So what of the governors that are not supporting or that are not in APC, but they are doing well? I mean, integrity demands that you support them as well.
Well, he that is looking for something will come and apply for it. If you want the Integrity Group to support you and you mean good for your state and for the presidency that is doing well as well, we will support you. Because the president is what is our father of Integrity Group right now. If you are pro-Tinubu, then you mean well for Nigeria. Any anti-Tinubu is an enemy of the state. So we will not support you if you are not for Tinubu, because Tinubu means well for the country, and that's what we stand for.
But we normally say that democracy is the majority have their way and the minority have their say. There will always be a minority. I mean, my friend Kingsley Okafor normally says that criticism are tools you pick up, put them in your bag, and use them as you go. So there will always be people that point your attention to the fact that look at what is happening. You need to give attention to this issue. So we need people that also speak on the other side of the divide.
In as much as the criticism is constructive, there's no challenge to that. But what we have here, 90% is destructive criticism, and that is appalling to our image, to our country. For instance, why will somebody go to Canada, have a lawsuit that we are not part of, and labeled us terrorist parties in Nigeria? That is wicked, that is malicious, and it is not good. So when we have constructive criticism, it is done. We launched a compendium yesterday. You were there.
Yes.
The compendium consists of what the president has done, what he's doing, what he's there to do, and our advice to the president. For the lot of power, never challenge your master in the public. You can always advise your master or your leader privately that, okay, you can go right, you can go left, you can go to the center or backward, provided we have an achieved target. So what we have here is those that are, many people don't like, the people that are lying against the federation right now, are those that don't want to see anything in Tinubu, and a man has crushed the cabal. The oil cabal that used to steal the oil subsidy has been dismantled, disillusioned, and sent to abyss. And that is why most of them are gathering in the name of different parties, different coalitions that want to overpower. Never again shall we allow anyone that has stolen the pride of the nation to lead us. And that's what reality stands for. We will defend Tinubu with body, soul, and spirit.
Okay, so let's talk about subsidy a little bit, because you just mentioned the oil, and we knew where the subsidy was going. From every indication, it was going to a few hands, and now subsidy is gone. Am I correct?
You're very
but
correct.
we've not seen the proceeds of that subsidy that has been removed. Now let me land. Now when the subsidy is removed, we want to see it affected in other areas of the economy. The only thing that we have seen is that this money of subsidy that has been removed has taken up the prices of the fuel. They would not see the effects on healthcare. We call them critical infrastructure, good roads. We've not seen this on education. I mean, why can't we redirect this stuff there?
Thank you. And I know you're saying this to see my reaction, because you know what you're asking me. Number one, only yesterday, dialysis is almost free now in Nigerian hospitals by Tinubu. Only yesterday. Number two, the roads are now being done in concrete before asphalt. The Lokoja Abuja road that is taking lives is being resurfaced now as we speak. Then, as we speak, infrastructure are being developed. As we speak, agricultural sector is being revamped. As we speak, the youth corpus in Nigeria can now have access to funds to start their lives. As we speak, NEFON is giving out loans to students. My brother's son in Port Harcourt is getting dividends from that. And he told that whenever you're talking about the president, ensure you mention this, that his son is doing what? Partaking in the NEFON loans to students. Then as we speak, we talk about the health sector. I've told you about dialysis, yes, and the rest. Then the most important one, there is no time in this world, in Nigeria's history, that a president will come to a public place and say, governors, water the people, because I've given you enough water. the bulk of the money from the subsidy removal is going to our governors, going to our local government chairman. In Delta, where I come from, the funds are going there and is being used justly for that purpose. Come to Delta State. You will be proud we have a state. Thank God I just got my brother on phone about Delta State. Nobody, my governor has won several accolades for the past 2 years as the best governor, A, B, C, D to the end. Now, I want to call on other governors. I mentioned Benue to you. I mentioned Nasarawa. I mentioned Ebonyi to you, that these people are doing well. There is enough resources to local government chairman. Some have $1 billion in a month. Some have 500 million, 700 million. The records are there at the Ministry of Finance. We publish them. So what is happening now is that for the first time, the president has gotten development commission in Northeast, Northwest, North Central, Southeast, Southwest, and South. Why? He's trying to practice true federalism, whereby the resources are being used for the people to the grassroots. So the onus now lies on our leaders to be accountable to our people at the local level. If you only talk about the presidency, what happens to your local government chairman? What happens to your state governor, your assembly member, constituency project? Before they used to siphon them, you remember? But right now, I'm calling on Nigerians, let them account for the money they get. So the president, the dividends of the subsidy removal, we are feeling it positively. Then the price of the petrol, I make both to say this afternoon, that in the next 1 year, we could buy fuel for 500 per litre. Mark it. And I'll come into the event tomorrow, because the downstream sector is being stabilized to have the market forces to drive the prices very soon. And that is why, thank God, so refineries are being built. I won't mention names now. And monopoly will be killed so that the natural law of demand and supply will bring down the prices to human level. The bag of rice is not 75,000 naira, as again 110,000 we used to have. Then the economy has been stabilized. Remember our ideal economically in the world. The DG of the World Trade Organization came recently to say that, President, you've done well. You stabilized. Now it's time for growth. And the growth is ongoing. Now let me say this, that the president makes an economy that was a rotten tomato. A tomato that is rotten when you go to the market, when you buy it, you bring it out, you filter it.
Wash it.
You wash, you can't go wash, you filter it, then you boil it. When you are boiling it, you start having offensive odor, offensive smell. That offensive smell for a tomato is what you are seeing, that the excruciating pain we are having, 1 or 2, like economic that you said, the price of petrol you talked about, price of transaction. Now, after boiling tomatoes, you will not filter it to get the real tomato to fry your fresh stew. And that is what the president has done. He has filtered, he has boiled the tomatoes, it's smelling offensively, and people are crying. That's why he said, governors, water the people. Now, what you're not seeing next is that it's ability now for the fresh tomato to be fried our stew. So you and I can eat the stew in the Nigerian polity, the economy. So right now, before you know it, growth will start. To boil tomatoes that is rotten to make stew is no joke. When rain beats an animal, to remove the hair, it takes a man of wisdom to do that. And that is what Bola Ahmed Tinubu stands for. He's a man who has come prepared. He's giving his all. I heard him say something time ago that I'm giving my all for Nigeria, and never again shall Kaba lead this country. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, I want to come in here. Is your group all about Tinubu, or is it all about APC? But now you talk more of Tinubu, not APC. Just give me some minutes. You talk about COVID-19 audio settlement. That was APC government.
Yeah.
So Tinubu is part of the APC government. So APC government is one that brought us where we are. So why separate Tinubu from the APC government?
Thank you very much. If you have headache, the whole of your body can no longer function. You will need to sleep and get some rest, take some medication, take enough water, and get better. Tinubu was not the president then. He's the president of a country that says what happens. Even if you advise me now, integrity group, and I refuse to take it, it will seem that I will do what I want to do. At that point, the ONU said that we have all failed, but the head bears all the grunt. Now, at that time, the president was not in health affairs. So we have to separate the president's idea from that of the former presidents. I said some time ago in a forum that every other president that led before, I called them D-down. D-down. The reason is that we are trying to make sure that individuals now come on board, not the party. APC, I'm an APC stalwart in Delta and in Nigeria, yes, But this government of Tinubu is the different ballgame altogether. This is leadership by excellence. We all support him to get better. So we cannot bring in the former government that couldn't do what they need to do. And the man from day one, he said subsidy is gone. We abused him. I was part of those that spoke against it. But later, I saw, as an economist trained student, I saw that no, this one is going so well. His policies are emphatic. For the first time, we have excess trade with the US system, that we have gotten 3.4 GDP growth for over decades in Nigeria. Where have you gotten that? See, you don't change a winning team, brother. You can always go the winning to get better defensively, midfield-wise, attack, so that we can score more goals for the Nigerian polity. And that's what we stand for. That's what Tinubu stands for. So it's not part of the former governments that were there. Because the president was there. I'm being careful not to mention name, because I'm an African child who respects tradition. Some are gone to where they came from, and we cannot mention names now. So I would beg that the question should not be back to where we're coming from, to where we're going to. Thank you very much.
Sorry for, since you want us to do on Tinubu, let's do on him.
Yes, sir.
Day one, he removes subsidy. I know the impact of removing subsidy. It creates hyperinflation.
Yeah.
There was no plan to mitigate the pains that follows. So when you talk of Nigerians bad-mouthing this government, nobody wants Tinubu to fail. Every Nigerians wants somebody to succeed. But say if he succeeds, Nigerians succeed. So he has to do with our lives. But the issue still remains that these policies are long time. There were no short-time plans to mitigate the pains that attached to it. As you said, it was still under his government that rice hit 120. Before he came, what was the price? Now it's 79, 75,000, and we're clapping. But it was still this government that took it the way it is. So let's look at this broad-wide. There is tangible hunger on the street. What are we doing to mitigate this hunger?
Thank you. While talking now, I didn't mention the rotten tomato he makes. And while I also said that we're having excruciating pains, because I'm a realist. I speak physical, pragmatically in what I see, because I'm also feeling, I felt the pains some time ago, though we're getting better by the day. Now, I did say that for the first time in the history of Nigeria, my community persons have benefited from Renewed Hope Initiative programs. I have personally given out about 50 slots to women for the past 3 months through my governor's wife, through the First Lady's wife, on Renewed Hope Initiative programs. Then the DG World Trade Organization also said we should increase the social nets. And I said that in the forum, I said that, he doesn't live in Nigeria with us totally, and that she is speaking the truth, and truly the president has begun social net by what we are doing. And recently he has launched the word-to-word program to empower the vulnerable and the less privileged. As we speak, there are schemes for widows, there are schemes for students, there are schemes for low-income earners. There are different schemes we're having. So all we need to do now, the question is in the right direction, we need to do now is to increase the social net for the parents of the poor to breathe at this Nigerian economy. That is why I said that the tomatoes has been filtered for the stew, fresh to be fried for us to eat, and the social nets are being improved upon, and that is what we are doing, and it's going to do that.
I'll be truthful to you here.
Yeah, please do.
The worst now I'll do to you to come here and sugarcoat things. See, this social netting we're talking about, Okoje was economical with the truth. See, this is reactive. It should have been proactive. When you are removing subsidy, you should have introduced social net. You don't know he's reacting to that fall. So the plan was not seamless. Okay, secondly, he floated Naira. We're not a producing country. We are an importing country, and you're floating Naira. You see, you float Naira when you're a producer, you make your currency attractive to investors.
Yeah.
But we are not producing. Now, somebody is worth a billion Naira. Now, because you floated Naira, suddenly the person now is worth a million. So that is what Nigerians are talking, and thank God you're here to clear Nigerians. They're listening to you.
At the time, the dollar was almost 1,800 naira per dollar. Today is about 1,550, 1,560 per dollar. Now, in terms of production, in terms of our economy, when you import, it's a leakage. When you export, it's an injection. Yeah. To this end, we also saw that the lead export to America, the cocoa export away, and the crude product away. They have gained so much. That is why we have 3.4 GDP now for the first time in the history of Nigeria over decades. Now, having said so, we are talking about facts and figures here. Now, if you look at the responses from the economy, it shows that we're towards the right direction. Now, would you have preferred that we go back if a man is not a good leader and people are complaining and he's reacting? He's not reacting, that's why you complain. Now the reaction you're talking about now is that he didn't have a seamless plan before he said subsidies gone. But right now you see the Nigerian economy was in an abnormal situation when he came on board. And you don't solve abnormal problem with normally. You solve it in an abnormal way for you to get result. And he just made it and he got it. And so he has always appealed to Nigerians, appealed them for the initial pains they went through. That in subsequent ways, he's going to be coming up with programs of the government should also try to support what he's doing, and that's what we're having. I want to dare to ask the state you are from, so that maybe I can talk about it, so we can have a little bit of each state in this country.
From Abia State.
From Abia.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful! Abia is doing well, pretty well. So thank God you're from a state that.
But you're not president.
No, because he has not applied. He will apply through him. So our man in Abia is a good leader. No matter what you say. So people, if every governor behaves like him too, will get better, like the way Delta is acting. So right now, my brother, the question you asked for all of us, we are discussing the future and growth of Nigeria. I am not here to seek grace of a man who has not done anything. But if my father did a thing and he didn't do it well and he's not changing to be a better thing, then I should applaud his father do more. So what we are saying here is that the president is now bringing social net activities to cushion the effect while we grow the economy. As I've advised by the World Organization that we are stabilized now, is to grow. To have 3.4 GDP is no joke. Go back to history. When last do we have that? It's some years, decades ago. So meaning that we are the right direction. The man means well for the country, and we should support him. And that's exactly what we are doing. Like I said before, where the areas he has not looked out to, we also write to him, say, oh, Baba, you can go to the right, go to the left, like that. But I'm not going to come to the TV sets and talk about that publicly. But what you see is actions because action is expensive, talk is cheap.
All right. Then there is saying that there is thing that is out there that this social net that is coming to introduce just purely politics. Because she's looking at 2027 election. There is not genuinely concerned about Nigerians' plight, because if the Nigerians to tighten up their seatbelts, how much do they spend in national assembly buying cars? How much do they spend renovating the vice president's house? How much do they spend renovating international conference center and Tinubu centers? So for a lot of people, they are just basically playing politics because they want to be re-elected.
Okay, let me start with the last one. The ICC they renovated is purely private driven. If you have a program there, you pay, generate income to the government's coffers.
I cannot go there.
I'm telling you now, you can go there and use that place and you will pay. You will be billed expensively.
People do cost profit analysis. That is a bad project.
So, okay, that to you is a bad project. But to the Minister of SCT who came up with the program, he said he wants.
You spent 39 billion naira on a project that was built less than 1 billion naira.
The money we realize one is.
So let's stop playing politics with
the money we realize.
Talk about it. See, Tinubu is doing well.
It's for economic generation. Even though the returns practice you're trying to talk about here will take some time, but also is for prestige purpose. Our prestige is priceless. Please take note. Please take note. Then the man is not doing it for re-election purpose, because when this thing comes down to the state, Delta, for instance, whether you are in APC, you are in PDP, you are in Labour, you are in SDP, you are whatever.
I want to say Nigerian.
You are saying Nigerian. You have access to the social nets we are creating for the people. What they do, they announce. Okay, like yesterday, my governor launched social scheme for widows.
Wow.
10,000 widows, and until he leaves governance, I pray the next governor in 2031 because it's coming back. I'm speaking the reality. I pray
Is it reality or prophetically?
Realistically and prophetically, that he's going to return. Now, when he leaves, they are paying each widow 50,000 for the next 6 years.
Wow.
Monthly. 10,000 widows. Multiply that. Now, I pray Deltans hear me. Continue that legacy. So that every widow that is of a little bit of age in Delta State, and I ask all governors to emulate that. They can even have their own 20,000 widows. You know, in the Western world, there's social salary, where people, the old, even people in prison are paid stipends to maintain themselves. What is this have done? This corruption and even this thing, you wonder what are you going to hustle for when you have security? This man has touched me where they don't touch me. So I want to respond to him politically. So you see, he is not, and those 10,000 widows in Delta, they're not APCO. It is generally women in Delta that they bring. So they can just tell me, send 3 names. I would send 3 names from my hometown, Nomoro, where I come from. Give me 3 names. Whether you go, I don't even know them. I'll just put in. So that is what happens. So the President Tinubu's regime is not selective of people. It is accepting everybody. Remember, when he was governor in Lagos, people from Lagos, people from Ogun, people from Delta, people from Kwara, they were commissioners under his cabinet. So he's a man. I studied him, and this man, he means well for us.
Okay, all right. Let's look at other areas. So many areas to look at, because for you to say there is good governance and for also an expedition of this good governance, there are things that we need to put on ground. First of all, the 3.4 GDP you are talking about, upstream, that's actually on the macro level. We've not seen it fall on the micro level. Now, that's number one. Then the social net you are talking about. If people have money for eating and doing this one, most of the things we normally talk about is that people need to have the cost of doing business much cheaper.
That's true.
Come down. Now the cost of doing business hasn't come down. Now, what's the reason it has not come down? Insecurity. 1.
Yeah.
Bad roads. 2.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Now, let's even dwell on this one. No matter how people have the social net is widened, and people have 50,000 naira for you to talk about, how do they do this business? I know the Delta State governor is trying. I give them kudos, trying to tackle banditry, kidnapping, and all that. I saw the equipment they bought, that drones they are using to track all these guys. But more of that between Benin, where I'm from, and Warri, that we used to go 45 minutes, it now take hours to get there. These things needs to be put right.
I want to use this medium to call on the NDDC that has flagged off the construction of that road. There are no funds released to NDDC to do this road. So Samuel Ogbuku and my elder brother Shiedu Ebie, please, they should rise up to the occasion to ensure that that Benin Warri Road is done. It's not precedent. Then I was fortunately on that road. It affects you and I directly.
Yes.
If you are traveling by road from Warri to Abuja, you spend more time between Warri and Auchi.
Yes.
It's as if you are traveling from Okene to Maduguri.
Yes.
It's so cumbersome. I did that recently for a purpose, and I will speak it as I'm talking now. Now, what is the NDDC doing about it? We want to call on them this afternoon to rise to the occasion to tackle that road immediately, because we are all working for the same government, the same. I'm an aide to my governor. We're working for the same governor, we're working for the same government, and we are also ensuring that we support good governance. So once you have enough resources, the road was, the commission, they did flag off, not quite long. It was fanfare. What has happened to the road? We asked, 3 of us are now asking that question.
Yes.
Please add your voice to it. Add your voice to it. What happened to it? You should tackle it. Then that of, before now, before I go further, There's also a time that the governors will do federal roads and apply for refunds.
Yeah.
I want to call on the system that our father engineer David the engineer David, the minister for Umahi, to make sure that policy is sustained where they must be standard so that the governors can tackle the road, because I understand that the fears is that if they do it, there may not be immediate reforms, because the common man doesn't know the difference between state road and federal road. So every road should be motorable. I agree with you totally on that. And it's not about the presidency, it's about the system, the ministers, the governors, the NDC, the different development commissions. Like the Southeast, Northeast, North Central, and Senator was speaking about it yesterday on the system where it should be balance of projects allotment. I mean, they all have money now, billions of naira in all development commission. They should work. They should do what? They should work. Now, having said so, insecurity. I traveled through the road. No train that day, no flight, and I must be in Abuja. As I left Delta, as at 10 p.m., this is practical, I was still in Abiele.
10 p.m.?
10 p.m.
From Warri?
I was coming from Asaba.
As at 10 p.m.?
As at 10 p.m.
You're still in Abiele?
Trucks blocked the road that day at Edo Aziz.
I know Abiele before.
Yes. So, the wife called. I said, babe, I go to this journey. I'm not coming down to any hotel. We continued. As at 1 a.m., I was just at Okpela. And within Okpela, and Okene used to, I thought it was a death trap. And I told myself, according to Warri, all die and I die. We started going. Bro, for every kilometer, bumper to bumper, soldiers all over. President Tinubu, kudos. Every kilometer and that night, every kilometer, soldiers, red-eye soldiers. A flight does not pass the night on that road anymore. I told myself, thank God I traveled or that one day I will say it in a public forum, and that's what I'm saying now. So what am I trying to say? Before now, you dare not. And I asked the driver, I said, oh God, this is what we're enjoying on the road. People now travel, and I went to Taco Park. I thought the volume of travelers a day has reduced to more at night. And I found that even the Lagos route is the same thing. That no more kidnapping, no more attacks on the road. I'm not telling you what they told me, what I saw with my eyes. Then I told Solomon, my boys came to join me in a program, and they traveled through the night. When they got there, they say, Oga, road for night, sweet past day now. That even at the night, there was no fly pitching. So it's a continuous thing. When last do you have such opportunity? So the security network is getting better. That's why I think it has not changed even the service chiefs till now, because when you keep changing people at times, you have issues. So we're stabilizing them, it can get better. I guess my point. So security-wise, the kidnapping on that most dangerous in Nigeria before now has reduced. And if you look at the whole nation, you cannot stop crime totally, even in America. Of course, there's
no country.
Minimum, barest minimum.
I'll keep it at bay. So that is exactly what the president is doing. Kudos to the chief of defense staff, to the national security advisor, to the federal, to the paramilitary and military agencies. But we can also have a better one. The way that road is police every other road in Nigeria, so that we can travel. Even the airfare, how it is now. So if you have a silver road, nobody will go and fly. We will fly for emergency, but we can stroll. And that traveling by land is sweeter than traveling by air, because that's when you feed your eyes and you learn also the security screen. Those days, the social studies. So that is what we have in security now in Nigeria. I'm a practical living example of what happened not last year, 3 weeks ago.
I have a question for you from somebody. He said, has your principal Tinubu forgotten that he has settled Wiki and Fubara? As if there is reconciled them, because Rivers people are worried after they said he reconciled them, they still have solar there. So when is democracy going to return to Rivers State?
My brother Peter.
Who was that should ask you?
They say you should ask me. The president asked this question. Let me say this. You don't feed the food of the lion to goats. The goat will eat grass. The lion will eat
flesh.
Not just flesh, raw flesh. So this question will be answered by the masquerade himself. Because you cannot measure height with your leader.
Your opinion.
I know the River State issue has been resolved, and it's not that later it will be settled to be restored. That's the truth.
I wanted your opinion on it.
My opinion?
Yes.
My opinion is that the emergency rule is enough in River State, and all angles have been settled. The bell will ring soon for democratic sustenance renewal in River State. And River State will get better by His grace.
I kind of like your integrity, with the way you speak. You don't deny that there's a problem. You just try to provide that we can solve these issues.
That's true.
And that's what I think the integrity group has come up with.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We want to say thank you for coming on our show, Voting Arena. We want to have you again and again anytime you feel like coming, and we want to attend your programs too. Then I wanted you to talk on Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa moving from the PDP to the APC.
I was going there.
There were a lot of things.
This man, you got into
I was going there.
There were a lot of things and issues that people thought about. He was being interrogated by the Economic and Financial Crime Commission. All of a sudden, there was a decampment. Okowa, PDP has given Okowa everything that who he is today is as a result of PDP. PDP has been kind to him, but all of a sudden, he dropped PDP and moved to the APC. That didn't look like something of good integrity.
Okay, thank you. You are talking about my father here. So let me adjust my seat properly. Now, number one, before I go to my father you just mentioned, let me say this, that it was because of the president's sincerity to restore Nigeria. That is why we had that summit yesterday at Sheikh Musa Yara Center, where you attended, and you said that a competitor was launched.
Yeah.
And we are going to have region by region summits. We are starting with North Central at Makurdi Benue from next month. Your office will be officially contacted. Okay. And this is the CAP, Integrity for Nigeria, the Renewed Hope Agenda Ambassadors. And we are trying to, what we're doing is enlightening the people at the grassroots that the lies they're saying about the government is not true. We support the man for re-election and we'll get better. That's that way. Now, having said so, we call him the political doyen of the modern Delta state. His popular name in Delta is Ekweme. Ekweme means I talk am, I do. Not the God own, no, this is the human own.
Talk and do.
Ekweme means I talk am, I do am. If he makes you a promise, he fulfills it. Now, having said so, when you say PDP gave him everything, he gave PDP everything as well. If it was not Ekweme, the PDP will not be as solid as it is in Delta until we left. Mind you, it was not decamping, it was a movement for a purpose. Purposes. Now, PDP should not feel bad because they refuse to reform and they couldn't nip the challenges at the board. So I respect the PDP. I'm not here to castigate any party, but I'm here to speak about my father like you just asked. So when we saw that the president is doing well for Nigeria, as true Nigerians, meetings were held, and they said, look, this is a movement, I won't move to the APC, and today we are supporting the APC. That's why he shared the occasion yesterday, ably represented by Honorable Pascal Adigwe, who spoke his message. It's all over the news that Okowa reinstates support for the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in that program of National Summit held by Integrity Group in conjunction with new support group TSG headed by Dr. Tanko Umar Yakase. Now, having said so, the president, the Governor Okowa did not leave PDP because of being interrogated by EFCC. From my findings, a confession was made that since they are interviewing persons in EFCC office, he was one of the most intelligent men they summoned. When he got there, tell him, give me 3 days to answer all your questions. He will write, he will tell you what he used the money for, and the project is done there. He will write, so when you have investigated a man, and you saw that you gave me $1 billion, you said I ate the money, I should come and explain. And I got there, and I said, look, the $1 billion was used for traveling to Abuja, traveling to America, building a structure there, building a structure here, and I'm giving you the facts and figures